Welcome to the Service Industry Podcast. I've spent the last decade as a CEO, operator, and business builder selling tens of millions of dollars in products and services. I, just like many of you, started with nothing. My mission for this podcast is to help you become the greatest version of yourself, help you grow and scale your business, and create the life you've always dreamed of. I'm your host, Matt Smith. Enjoy the episode. What is going on, guys? Matt here from the Service Industry Podcast. Hope everybody is doing well, man. Hope you guys are crushing it. You are getting this episode on a Friday, even though I'm recording it on a Thursday. And it has been a wild week up here in Michigan. I've been insanely busy. If you're in the Facebook group, you probably saw my post last night of just my list of things that I've had on my plate this week. It has been busy, which I haven't had a week this busy in a long time, but it feels good. We are building, and I'm grateful, man. Just so grateful. Grateful for you guys, grateful for this podcast, and hope this is a valuable episode to you. I think it will be. And today I'm going to be talking about expectations. And before we dive in, as always, I will remind you guys time and time again, I own ServiceIndustryCoach.com. We help home service businesses all over the country with print marketing of all sorts. Business cards, direct mail, postcards, door hangers, NCR forms, estimate sheets, everything. We do it all. And we're different than everybody else in the aspect that everything that I did inside of my business is what we implement into other companies. So if you want to dabble in direct mail, you're instantly going to get a postcard design that has been proven to convert in my business and in hundreds of companies all over the country, rather than starting from scratch. The same goes for all the other print marketing. So if you want to give us a shot for that, we would love to earn your business. Second thing, if you haven't joined the free Facebook group, please do. Link is always in the show notes. I have multiple links in the show notes so I can make it as simple as possible for you guys to find the things you want to explore. So please make sure you check those out, and please go join the free Facebook group if you have not already. All right, let's dive in. So today I want to talk about expectations because just in the last 3 days, I've had almost 25 calls, either marketing calls or coaching calls. And one thing that I've been seeing as a common trend is expectations being off. And what I mean by that is simply that people expect something to happen inside of their business far before it should, or expect something to be easier inside of their business than it actually is. And, I can't blame anybody for this, especially nowadays with the internet. Everybody makes everything look so easy, right? Like, oh, join my free program. Oh, start a drop shipping store, start an Amazon store, start a home service business. Like it's easy, right? But it's not. And that's just the truth. And one thing I've always promised, not just you guys, but also myself, is that I would be 100% vulnerable, open, and honest with you guys about what it actually takes to build a successful home service business. And you guys have heard me say, hundreds of times at this point, how I believe a home service business is one of the best opportunities, especially, in 2025, for a few reasons. One is because the younger generation coming up, I don't necessarily believe they don't want to work, but a lot of them don't want to work with their hands, right? We have so much technology now that people have so many more options that we don't have a lot of people who are going into trades. So one, that means that there's going to be less competition. But two, that also means that as this younger generation is buying their own houses, they're going to hire everything out. And so I believe that home service is a massive opportunity. However, I believe that it is also one of the harder businesses to build because it relies so much on labor. Okay. Now, the good news is because it is a harder business to build, there are fewer people that are in the space. Meaning, you look at your local market and let's say you're a roofer. If you're in a town of like my size, maybe there's 10 other roofers, right? Now, if you're in a big city, let's say maybe Detroit or Los Angeles, there might be 50 other roofers. But the reality is, only 5% of them are actually doing any kind of volume. And by the way, competition isn't a bad thing. You should never look at competition as a bad thing. You should almost look at it as proof of concept that there's actual demand in the marketplace for it. And so when I have competition, I just simply say, okay, what is the best competitor doing? I go pick it apart. How can I be better, etc. And that's how you get to the top. But the point is that home service businesses are really hard to build. You have to be a great leader. You have to be able to manage people. Home service companies are a people business. If we don't have people on our team fulfilling on the services we're selling, we do not have a business, okay? We're not like a software company where we built a software once and then we send it out to many. Right? We're a home service company where we sell a service for Mrs. Jones. We have to perform the service on her house. We sell the service for Mr. Smith. We have to go and perform the service on his house. And every time we do so, we have to send people out to do it. And so it is a harder business on the fulfillment side. However, there's way less competition. The entry cost to most businesses is extremely small compared to starting a software company, an e-commerce brand, all of that stuff. Your marketing costs are by far the cheapest marketing cost out of any industry. Like you guys, I see people getting a 10x return on their ad spend, 15x return on their ad spend, and they're just spoiled. They just think that's how it is. But what you guys don't realize, most industries are happy to put in $1 and get $2 back. In our industry, oftentimes we can put in $1 and get $10 back, $20 back, $30 back. And we don't even have to spend that much to do so. And so the home service business industry is primed for somebody who has the right expectations. Now, what I'm seeing is in a lot of people that I'm coaching, what I'll do is we'll go through at a high level, pick out the low-hanging fruit inside of their business. I give them tasks and homework to go accomplish that next week. And then on the next call, they come back to me and we say, hey, how did it go? What happened? Was it successful? Was it not successful? How did you do it? How can we tweak it, right? And what I found is the one thing that people have not low expectations, but expectations that things should be easier is in the sales department. Meaning that, hey, I went in, I knock 5 doors a day. I don't really know why I don't have big results. Well, it's because you didn't knock 100 doors a day. Okay? You can't knock 5 doors a day and expect results. You also can't knock 5 doors a day and expect that you're going to get skilled at what you're doing because you simply aren't putting in enough reps. You guys heard me say this a couple podcasts ago, but I think it's such a good story. I want to share it again. Alex Hormozi has a story when he was building a gym. He hired this guy who was a coach and consultant, but the guy built tons of gyms in the past. And the way he primarily did it was through print marketing, which is crazy. He would go put these door hangers on people's front doors, on car windshields, etc., showing that, hey, I've got this special offer for my gym that's in your town. Come sign up. It had urgency on it. And Alex was like, okay, I'll try it. Like this guy's like, dude, go do this. It will work. Alex does it for a week. He comes back and he's like, hey, it didn't work. Guy's like, what are you talking about? He's like, your door hanger idea doesn't work. He's like, well, how many did you hand out? And I think Alex said like 200 or 300. And the guy laughs at him. He goes, dude, my test size is 5,000. And then after that, we're doing 5,000 a day. And then that's when Alex Hormozi was like, oh, I'm extremely underestimating the amount of volume it takes in order to be successful. And so I see this time and time again. People's expectations are a certain volume, but what they really need to realize is in order to be successful, that volume probably is 10 or 20x what you are expecting. And that's when most people go, oh, well, I don't know if I want to do that or if I can do that. And that's why most people lose. Is because their expectations are set far too low of what is required in order to win. And so I make this episode today to remind you that whatever you have your expectations set at for whatever it is inside of your business, whether it's getting more sales, whether it's hiring employees, whether it's your customer experience, you need to probably 10x your expectations of what it is going to take in order to make that work. Because the reality is, at the end of the day, if we go out into the marketplace and let's just say you're a brand new business and you don't have a ton of money for marketing, so you're boots on the ground putting door hangers on front doors and you're only putting out 50 a day. Well, you're just not going to get the return needed. And in fact, I'll literally open my calculator right now while I'm on here. For direct mail, let's say you're getting between 1.25% return. Even at 0.5% return at 50 a day, that's not even one call a day, right? So in order for us to, on average, even get one call a day, we need to, at minimum, put 200 door hangers out. That's 4x probably what the newbie is doing. He's like, holy crap, 200 a day? That's just for one call. And that doesn't mean you're even going to close that one call. Let's say you have an average close rate of 50%. Now you got to put out 400 door hangers to get 2 calls to close one deal. You guys are like, well, that doesn't sound like a good marketing strategy. Listen, that's the case for everything in sales, for everything in marketing. It is sheer volume, okay? I have people that reach out to me, they're like, I want to send out 1,000 postcards through direct mail. I'm like, okay, what else are you doing? Well, nothing, I'm just going to do that. I'm like, don't. You're wasting your time. Why? It's not enough, dude. You're going to be disappointed in the results. And then you're going to think that I don't know what I'm talking about. You're going to tell me direct mail doesn't work, but it's not that direct mail doesn't work. It's that you're not putting out enough volume in order to get the result needed. And so people's expectations are far too low. You guys, for some reason, think that this game is easy. It is not easy, okay? It is very hard to build a 7-figure business. And that's why only 7% of companies ever hit the 7-figure mark, because it's hard. Guys, out of 100 businesses, only 7 of them will ever do 7 figures in a single year. And the ones that are doing 7 figures, 8 figures, and 9 figures are the guys that are all in, are the guys that understand volume in all areas, in their sales, in their marketing, in their leadership, in all areas of their business. It's pure volume. So I just want to jump on here and record this quick episode today because some of your expectations are off. Some of you guys are putting out 50 door hangers and then giving up because you didn't get a single call. You're not supposed to. Okay? You are not supposed to get results when you put out that small of volume. And this is how we weed out the competition. Like, so many of you are worried about your competitors copying you or whatever the case is. Let me tell you one thing. If you're actually putting in the work and you're putting out 10,000 door hangers in a month, or you're sending out 10,000 direct mail pieces, and you're spending thousands of dollars on Google ads and Facebook ads, and you're door knocking and cold emailing and cold calling, you don't need to worry about what your competitors see you doing, because they are not going to do it. How do I know? Because I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of home service business owners, and less than 5% of them do what they say they are going to do. They all know what to do. They all know how to do it. They are just unwilling to put in the work to do it because the volume required takes a lot of effort. And most people aren't willing to put in the effort. And that's why most people stay small. So if you're one of the guys that is putting in the effort, that is putting in the volume, don't worry what your competitors are doing. Don't worry if they're watching you, because even if they're watching you, even if they know step by step what you are doing, they will not do it because they are unwilling to sacrifice the energy required to be successful. Okay, I've got a guy I'm coaching. He's actually in my town, owns a lawn care business. He said, Matt, I want to scale to this number this year in revenue. I'm not going to share those numbers on here. I want to scale to this number in revenue. And I said, okay, cool. Let's break it down. Let's make this as easy as possible, right? I said, do you know how you're going to get there? No, not yet. Awesome. What's your average order value? What's your average customer paying you? It was around, I think, $1,500 or $1,600 per year, per season. Okay, cool. So we need 90 new customers if we need to hit this revenue, because we already know we have this much repeat business coming in, and we need to add this much revenue to hit the number, which equals 90 customers. Now the game gets easy. How do we go find 90 new customers? Well, if we just want to break it down into direct mail or door hangers, I need you putting out 10,000 pieces per month. I also want you lighting up the Facebook groups. Every single week you're allowed to post about your business and how you're taking on new customers and how you have X amount of spots open. Guess what? We had like a 3.5 month window in order to make this happen. The guy's a month and a half in and he's got like 70 new customers already. Okay? Why? Because he understood volume. He was willing to put the energy in and get out that many door hangers every single month, not making excuses, out in the cold. Okay? And he actually told me, he's like, Matt, I'm kind of concerned my competitors are watching me and they're going to be out there doing what I'm doing. Listen, they might do it for a second, but they are not going to be putting out 10,000 door hangers in 20-degree weather day after day after day. How do I know? Because I've worked with enough people to know that almost nobody is willing to put in the work, but you are, and that's why you're going to win, and that is why he will hit his revenue goals this year, and his competitors won't. He reverse engineered the math. He knew how many customers he needed. We did the calculations on what his average return is going to be on the print marketing. And I said, here's your number. If you want it bad enough, this is what you got to do. And he did it. But the problem is most people underestimate the volume it takes. And to be honest, most of you don't even know how many customers you have to acquire this year in order to hit your revenue goal, if you've even set a revenue goal at all. And so I jump on here to tell you, if you want it bad enough, it will be harder than you are thinking it will be. It will take longer than you are thinking it will take. But that is okay, because that is the game of business that we are playing. And if you can play it long enough, if you can outlast your competitors, you will win. This is not rocket science. It just takes effort. It just takes energy. You have to will your way through it. And if you have the strongest will out of anyone in your marketplace, you will be the top guy before you know it. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. As always, if you need any help marketing your business or want to work with me directly doing one-on-one coaching, visit serviceindustrycoach.com. We'll see you on the next episode.